Guys, I want to give my honest opinion on the game Nigeria played against Tunisia. Nigeria won that game by 3-2, but then I just want to give my own reaction, review, and also opinion from an unbiased point. I'm a Ghanaian, my name is Adam, so please make sure to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. Quickly, let's jump into it. First of all, I'm going to say this. Nigeria played very well in that game from start to like the 70th minute. The last 20 minutes was Nigeria just taking things for granted, and they nearly threw away a 3-0 lead. They nearly did throw it away, but currently what we can take away from this game is that Nigeria knows how to get those points. You see, this is one thing that I always like to say: the end justifies the means. How Nigeria got there, we do not care. You know what is important? What is important is, did Nigeria get there? Yes, they are topping the group. They have 6 points. Tunisia has 3 points. Tanzania and Uganda have 1 point, 1 point. So I don't care how Nigeria got the 6 points. But then, do they have 6 points? Yes, they have 6 points. So at the end of the day, the end justified them. And then as I'm speaking to you now, they are one leg. In fact, they are 2 legs. It's in the round of 16. But as much as, we don't want to talk about how they got there and everything, there are certain things they need to learn. Because getting to the knockout phases, going as far as the final, they need to correct certain things. So first of all, let's talk about the starting lineup. The starting lineup was quite different from what Eric Sakushel used when he played against Tanzania. Made 2 changes. Brought in Bruno Onyemaechi to replace Zaidu Sanusi, and also brought in Frank Onyeka, who was in that midfield and played extremely well. He was in the team to replace Samuel Chukwueze. So the team was pretty much the same, but then 2 changes. Now, those 2 changes indirectly changed the style of play for Nigeria because they were facing a different opponent. But then I was hoping for Tunisia to pose a threat. I was hoping the game to be more even, but the game was not even. Nigeria dominated the game, especially in the first half. They dominated that whole first half in every department. When it comes to chances created, they were dominating. When it comes to possession, they were dominating. When it comes to shot on target, they were dominating. Tunisia did not even get a shot on target in the first half. That should tell you how dominant Nigeria was in the first half. Osimhen scored 2 goals in the first half. One was disallowed. The other, it was a very beautiful goal, and that was a very beautiful header from Victor Osimhen. And I think Victor Osimhen is definitely going to score more goals in this Afcon. That is if Nigeria are, going to play very well and concede less goals. Victor Osimhen can take them to the promised land. But then in the second half of that game, can you imagine? Do you know how many goals were scored in the second half? 4 goals. 4 goals were scored in the second half. It was as if the first half nothing happened. 4 goals in the second half made this game look like one of the most exciting, games in the Afcon. Now, let's take a look at the second half. First time when they entered into the second half, the first 5-10 minutes, Nigeria was playing very well. It was as if they were playing just like, the first half. And they got the second goal through Ndidi. Ndidi's first goal. First national team goal for Nigeria, and he was the captain, so you could know how this was, huge for him. The players, the coaching staff, everybody was cheering, everybody was happy for Ndidi because over 70 caps and he's scoring his first goal. That was good. That was really good for Ndidi. I was really happy for him. Not long after, Ademola Lookman with a brilliant finish, being assisted by Victor Osimhen. So in that game, you have goal scorers like Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, wilfred Ndidi for Nigeria. They were assisted, one by Ademola Lookman, who had 2 assists in the game, and also Victor Osimhen. So, up till around the 67th, getting to the 70th minute, it was all Nigeria, until Tunisia started coming into the game in the 70th minute. You see, Nigeria thought that the 3 goal was just a ceiling for them, so they were more relaxed in the game and they lost focus. When Tunisia had their first goal, that bounced right in front of Iwabali, they panicked. Nigeria panicked. You could see it clearly that they panicked. If not for that, they would not have played the way they played. For the first time, I have seen the Nigerian coach, Eric Sakushel, play a 5-back. Who would have thought? Who would have resorted to a 5-back just to get awful 3 points in the game. That's why I said the end is justifying the means. Nobody cares how Nigeria got the 3 points. At the end of the day, did they get the 3 points? Yes, they did. So for me, the coach did whatever he had to do. The players did whatever they had to do to get the win. But in that second half, in that last 20 minutes, honestly, it was so bad because Tunisia had a lot of fans in the stadium. This game was sold out. About 80-90% were just Tunisians and Moroccans and also Algerians, South Africans. They were in the stadium cheering up, Tunisia, wanting Tunisia to win this one. You understand? But then an incident happened after Tunisia got their goal. An incident happened, and I know this is being discussed because it's a controversial penalty. Bright Osai Samuel was involved in a tackle, but then the ball hit his hand and the referee, gave a penalty to Tunisia. And that alone jilted them to go as far as nearly scoring, the third goal, the equalizer. But then it just did not happen. The whole team was panicking. Nigeria was panicking, from goalkeeper to defenders. Everyone was panicking. You could see in that game, getting to the last 20 minutes, they needed someone to tell the players, cool down, calm down, it's going to be fine. You understand? And once again, this is a game Ghanaians watched. If I tell you Ghanaians did not watch this game, then I'm lying. Ghanaians really did watch this game. They watched it as if it was Ghana who was playing, because this game had everything in it. It was entertaining, there was drama, there were goals. I mean, what else are you expecting from a game Nigeria is playing? Like, I was watching that game, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, yes, this is one of the most interesting games I've ever seen in this particular AFCON. And so far, it lived up to the hype. It was just excellent. But Nigeria going forward, knowing that, they are topping the group, they need to make sure they still maintain that, because topping this group makes you get a softer or, not too competitive opponent in the next round. You understand my point? So that is what they are supposed to do. But for me, this is my honest opinion. I don't want to come here and say I want to banter and everything. At the end of the day, what are you going to banter? Nigeria won the game. They had 3 points. So what are you going to say? What are you going to say badly? No, there's nothing else to say. You understand? At the end of the day, right now we are talking, they have qualified. You understand? So respect to them. Nigeria played an honest game. They played a very good game today. And I think today we saw more creativity from the Nigerian team. They scored more goals. We saw Victor Osimhen more, especially the crossing game that was used in the first half. It really paid off. And Ademola Lookman is becoming the key player, the star man of this team. You like it or not, Ademola Lookman is that guy. In that game, 2 goals, two assists to 1 goal. For me, he was the man of the match. But then, guys, let me know what you think about the performances from these Nigerian players. First of all, the coach got his spot on with his tactics, but I think the last 20 minutes they panicked. But then I'm not going to blame them too much. They just need to learn from that. The defenders need to communicate more. Nigerian defenders, Samia Ajayi, Calvin Bassey, and also the goalkeeper. Look, today Nwabali was caught ball watching several times. Few mistakes here and there. He needs to start working on his act, because this is the AFCON. You can't let small mistakes like this be beating you. You don't do that. You understand? Bruno Onyemaechi had an impression, and he made that very strong on me. I think he's going to fight for his position in the starting 11 for the Super Eagles. Also, Frank Onyeka came in. He did not disappoint. Iwobi was quite a bit. He ghosted a bit in the game, but ndidi he was all that. He commanded that midfield, and I like it a lot. But then, guys, this is me talking about all these players. But then finally, the front three: Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen, Akwa Adams, fantastic. They had their game. They played very, very well. All these players did very, very well. So, guys, let me know what you think about it. I'm just being unbiased. They won. If they did not win, this conversation would have gone a bit different. But then Nigeria won. So me, the end justifies the means. Did Nigeria get 3 points? Yes, they got 3 points. Are they leading? Yes, they are leading with 6 points. How they got there, I don't care. At the end of the day, football is all about the goals and 3 points. So, guys, I'll make sure to see you in the next one. My name is Adam. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. We go vibe.